Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. And welcome back to Sci-Fi Sundays.
Woohoo!
Hello.
How are y'all doing this
Hello,
morning?
everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hollywood humorous.
How are y'all feeling this morning? How'd the week treat y'all?
Week treated me well.
Good.
Busy.
Almost
But
forgot.
Oh, yes.
I think he said he was going to be late this week or anything, or something like that.
Yeah.
Always just fun to summon David when possible.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh, there he is.
no, never mind. He's here. that was
He just waits in the wings until we say the
French
magic words.
chef. Sorry, I said French kiss instead of chef kiss, and I think David's been sending me too many different videos as of lately. Oh, woo. Embarrassing myself in the first 2.5 minutes. Welcome to Sunday. To start this puppy off, of course, I think we all have a fairly busy Sunday, so we are going to last about an hour, maybe hour and a half tops, so somewhere in that nice little time span there. So just to keep y'all updated and posted in that kind of, so you can have your thoughts on board with ours there. Let's jump into at least what we've watched this week. Sarah, you want to lead us off?
I watched the first episode of Pluribus. Hopefully I can get caught up this week. Really interesting. It's got me. What else did I watch? I thought of this before, and then I come on here and my mind goes blank.
Every week. I swear.
What else have I watched this week? Oh, I started watching a BBC miniseries on Emma because I'm a huge Jane Austen fan. So, it's kind of girly.
How was
Jane
it?
Austen? Oh, I just watched the first episode. It's good. It has oh my gosh, what's his name? The guy who did Elementary show, he's in it. What is his name? He used to be married to Angelina Jolie a long time ago.
Billy Bob Thornton?
No, the guy before him.
Brad Pitt.
Hackers. That guy.
Oh, right, that dude.
Yeah.
He's got 3 names.
Yeah.
What is that? I know who you're talking about now. We had to narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Lee Miller.
Yes, that would be the guy.
Oh, she was married. What?
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know they were married
Oh,
a long time ago. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they got married right after right after the production of Hackers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey. Is that, I guess, all you've seen of the week? We watched a little Farscape and some Fallout, huh?
In Farscape and Fallout. I guess I've been rewatching a little Stranger Things because I've been doing some videos on that, and hockey, of course, always hockey.
Well, real quick before we jump to Stormy, just to address it as we have the last few weeks, StreamYards on YouTube has been trying to do a couple different versions of streams. So there's 2 versions of the same stream. If you're not feeling the vertical version, you can go to the horizontal version. There are 2 versions of the same stream. You can just check on our channel. It should pop up. Wild couple by all accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they were married that long, were they?
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were breaking Stormy back on an easy last week with a 3-hour stream. I was waiting for a 6-hour stream today. Well,
yeah.
You never know what's going to happen next week.
If you want a 6-hour stream today, just watch this one 6 times. There we go.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Or 5.3 times.
Or just get caught up. Or just get caught up on Professor Cringe. That's acceptable.
There's a lot of options.
Yes.
A lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
You can go Mojo Zoo, Professor Cringe. You could even go Sarah 6226.
Mm-hmm. Which that's probably going to be changing, but
so many options right now. But anyway, Stormy, what options did you option into this week while watching?
So I got caught up on Pluribus.
Ooh, oh my God! Everybody besides me
and me. I've only seen 1 episode.
Well, I was down 2 episodes, so I had to get caught up. But it continues to surprised in a very Vince Gilligan kind of way. I caught up on. I watched a little bit of, I guess, season 2 X-Files because I could. I watched season 1 and season 2 of Stargate SG-1, starting on that, starting down that path for binging again. You know, I watched Tron Ares. I watched that, and then I got on to. It's not exactly sci-fi, but I started watching Last Frontier on Apple. It was like a prison break kind of movie. A lot of CIA intrigue, and it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Then I actually finally got around to watching. What was that, Sarah?
I was asking, is Johnny Knoxville in there? In that movie?
Don't think
It
so.
said he was on the cast. That just cracks me up. I haven't seen him in a movie.
I mean, maybe, but I haven't. I mean, I've only seen like the first 2 episodes of it. And then the last thing was I finally watched Formula One with Brad Pitt.
How'd you like that one?
I actually kind of did. I mean, it gave me a better appreciation of what F1 is. The story was, I mean, the story was about the same thing as what was the name of that movie? There's a lot of racing movies that's the same kind of theme. What was the one I was going to mention?
They've talked about crossing over with the old is it Days of Thunder or what's the old Tom Cruise racing movie?
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder, yeah.
What was his name? What was the character's name? Something Rick Trickle or something like that.
I don't know, but if it is, that's the best name ever. I want Rick Trickle and 50 Adventures with Rick Trickle right here, right now.
What the hell was that name?
Cole Trickle. His name was still Trickle. That's the worst. But Rick Trickle's amazing.
Cole Trickle. I knew. Yeah, it was predictably Southern in there. Yeah.
Did you? Was it the first time you saw Tron Ares as well?
No, that was a rewatch.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I remember you went to the theater and you took a picture about nobody was there, right? That was for Tron Ares.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man. It was and it was like second weekend, I think it was, or third weekend, and it was like I was it, you know. And of course it was a weekend matinee, but you would think that,
right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, David's giving us a little more details on Last Frontier for you. I think the fugitive film, bus crash, but in Alaska, and playing the FBI agent rather than the criminal. Interesting.
So, right, yeah, so I was watching it, and I found a couple of film mistakes that just bugged the shit out of me. You know, so you have the the U.S. Marshal Service and their helicopter, and then you have the FBI and their jet airplane. But both of them still had the old the props team didn't change out the registration number, so it still had the original registration numbers from Canada. And my poor old girlfriend, she had to listen to me rant and rave about the inappropriate prop mastering that went on in that show. Anyway, so probably it was shot in Canada, and they just rented whatever, and went from there. But you think you could have at least got a piece of vinyl and put like a proper.
It's the little simple things that make it.
It's the simple things. It's the simple things.
Did you finish your Game of Thrones rewatch?
Yes, I did. Everybody died.
Everybody died.
Just about. There's about 5 of them left.
I should do a rewatch of it to see is it really as bad as we remember at the end.
Well, every time I watch it, I see more clues of Dany losing her mind. But as soon as Jorah died, he was apparently her linchpin to keeping her from doing crazy shit since first season. And as soon as he died, she was off to the races to do even crazier shit and kill everybody. He was like one of the things that moderated her behavior. And So yeah, I get a lot of people are all upset over the last couple episodes and her burning the town to the ground, but the clues were there and they weren't well hidden. I mean, it was, we're going to kill all the masters and we're going to kill this person. No, we're not going to kill you. Do you really want to be the queen of the ashes?
Yep.
And yeah, she did all along. It's just everybody else tried to keep her alive and keep everybody else alive. And I think she was mad from the get-go. Not as mad as the Mad King, but she was mad from the get-go. It's just,
I don't think people are upset that Danny did that. I think they're upset the way the filmmaking part was handled for the last 2 seasons. Because talk about plot thin plot or paper thin plot. They just kind of dropped a solid half of the plot threads they had from the first 6 seasons in the last 2. They didn't give themselves enough time, and HBO didn't give them enough time in 8 episodes or 7 episodes and 8 episode counts rather than the 10 episodes they'd had for 8 years prior to that. And they tried to wrap up George R. Martin's epic with half, or I guess 4 to 5 episodes less than what they could have.
Yeah,
right.
I really think, don't think that I'm bashing on Martin, but I really do think HBO should have given them the runway they needed to tell the story. I mean, that kind of mismanagement of the franchise is how we got Firefly only 12 episodes.
Well, I don't want to bash on Martin either, but I think the guy needs bashing on at this point because I don't know how else the guy's ever going to finish his novel. And it's almost, excuse my phrasing here, but George R. Martin has blue-balled the entire literary world. 15 years now.
Yeah.
How many books? How many books we publish?
My first college English credit is a Game of Thrones writing class.
Really?
I will forever feel like it is incomplete because he has not finished these books. I'm like, I don't care if I got the credit or not. Like, it doesn't feel right because he never finished it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to, I'm pretty sure he had an outline for how this is all going to go down, but still, it's like, what? I mean, even with all a lot of the nuances of whatever his final book's going to be, it would never have made it to the HBO show. Still think, HBO should have given him another, another 5 episodes across the last 2 seasons, 6 episodes. Easily. I mean, it would have been a whole new season, but.
It's screwy. At least House of the Dragon, that season 1 particularly was really good. Season 2 wasn't as good as season 1, but had some damn good moments. That finale was the season 1 finale was also gut wrenching.
Hey, you know what I really want to see out of a spinoff from Game of Thrones? I want to see what's going on with Arya. She went off to find Westeros, and I want to follow that journey. She was probably one of them. The Imp was my favorite character, but Arya was my second favorite character.
You very well may be in a good spot in a couple years then.
Oh, I hope so.
Because I did just announce a bunch of other Game of Thrones projects, and it very much looks like Arya sailing I was about to say the 7 seas, but no, sailing westward very well may end up being one of the spinoffs they do. Kind of, it seems like in lieu of the Jon Snow spinoff. So we'll see. Maybe that's a good way to do it. One of my favorite characters that just never got the love that he needed in Game of Thrones was oh God, what's his name? I almost called him Gendry. It's
Gendry, the blacksmith.
Yeah, the blacksmith. The bastard son of Baratheon.
Yeah.
Cool. He's awesome. I like the actor. He looked like a young Christian Bale a lot of the times too, which was fun to watch.
He does, doesn't he?
But anyway, Game of Thrones and everything. I'll speed through what I've watched this week because it's a decent amount, honestly. I started and finished the entire series of Plebs. It's a very short series. I guess I started it last week, but into this one. Plebs, which is plebeians. It's a Roman series. It's a comedy. Hilarious. Check it out. Farscape, Fallout, of course. Been watching Stargate in the background of stuff. Been setting up a bunch of stuff out here for this big old variety show we're throwing here today. So had some Lord of the Rings on yesterday in the background. Had to go Fellowship, you know.
Mhm.
We may have the other two on in the background today. Besides that, I didn't go to the movie theater, I don't believe, but I did watch the new Knives Out movie with my roommate. And it was really good. I actually think if we're talking pure film, my favorite goes to the first movie still. Knives Out was just, the ensemble was iconic, and it was just such a great time. And I don't think we would have gotten this movie without that movie. So I think overall, I still think the first movie's better, but the third movie is leaps and bounds better than is it A Glass Onion, the second one? Excuse me. Yeah, it's really cool, really good. I feel like I've watched some other things, but ultimately, I've watched Little Tulsa King of Landman. I think that's it.
Mhm.
I think that's it. There's some fun things coming out this week too, though. We're getting in the week of Avatar. We're getting into the good stuff here soon.
Good
Mhm.
stuff.
I'm very excited. All of that being said, did y'all see this takeover this past week?
Is it? I don't know.
Kind of craziness. Yeah.
Is it like a takeover or is it like a schoolyard fight? I mean, oh my God. Right? I mean,
That would
what?
be interesting. Just have the heads of each of those studios. Maybe they can hire other people and just have them fight it out. There we go.
Do
And
it
then
full
let's
Twilight.
talk about that on pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. You can make
I mean,
money off of it. at the same
who
time.
wouldn't
I
want to
think
see
that would-
Ellison get his ass kicked?
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
That would get more views
Yeah.
than all the YouTube fights. Sorry, Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
That's gonna win. That's gonna
Mhm.
win. Zaslav refereeing, Ted Sarandos, and
Yes.
not Larry, David Ellison would be awesome. Just that. It'd be
Mhm.
the movie. I don't know. I don't have a good alliteration for it. I was gonna try something.
Mhm.
We'll keep moving. But yeah, I guess we're all aware of this. Are there any like initial thoughts y'all have? Is Netflix getting this something that y'all think is Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers something that you think will actually screw all of what we have considered filmmaking in the past? Or
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go for it. That's a big question in and of itself.
I think something we discussed earlier, and I think you brought it up, is that with all these acquisitions, it gives filmmakers one less place to go. Whether you're a writer, you're handling the props department, or you're an actor. I mean, you've got one less studio
Mhm.
to go to. And once you get, I'm worried about, let's see who brought that up in the
No go here.
Secular Monk. All the Saudis in the crowd. I mean, they are
Mhm.
infamous for
Paramount.
censorship, and that really bugs me. I mean, it's like Fahrenheit 451, Foundation, all the shows that we really love. A lot of places in the world, they are banned.
Or at the very least altered in a way that the government or whoever is making the rules of wherever that place is deems necessary or what you can watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which
Well, I think, monopolizing this is not, getting more competition is good, So,
yeah.
but I mean, when it comes to this, I'd rather that if this is the way things are going to go, I'd rather it be Netflix than Paramount, I think, because Paramount already, they just Skydance, Paramount, it seems like them acquiring Warner Brothers too would be too much to me. But I get why people say like maybe Netflix would just destroy theatrical releases. I don't know, maybe.
Well, I mean, I
Hard to
don't know.
say.
I mean, Disney put out, Tron Ares, and I saw it almost right
Mhm.
after it was premiered, and there was no one in the theater. So, I mean, Is Disney also destroying theatrical releases? Well,
No,
it's the theater that's on the way out, sadly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still go see the newest Avatar because I got to have that experience, but,
Yeah, because people are crinkling their wrappers and talking, and you don't want to deal with all that.
Tron Aries.
Yeah, really
Disney definitely hasn't helped the theatrical experience with how quickly
No.
they're willing to put things on.
Mhm.
Disney Plus, of course. The reason people are specifically afraid of Netflix getting it is they have the worst track record of putting anything in the theater. I think the longest they've had anything in theatrical release was 2 weeks. And if that's the case, there won't be a reason to go to a movie theater in a year. The second it gets taken over, there will be no reason to go to a movie theater. We joke that there's 5 companies that remain. There have really been 5 companies for the last 100 years. There's about 3 companies that remain now. Fox is now part of Disney. After this, Warner Brothers will become part of Netflix or Paramount. That's 3 companies where there were 5. And that shrinkage is a terrible term. The shrinking economy there doesn't allow that experience to not necessarily thrive or revitalize. It needs revitalization, and it doesn't allow it the time or the capability to revitalize itself. Because if anything, they should be working with the theaters to try to revitalize the experience. Like some theaters are doing Stranger Things in theaters for, I guess, New Year's. That is a Netflix thing, so thank you, Netflix, for doing that. But it's for 2 days rather than put it in there for a week. People are going to go see it. A24 is a shining light, but that kind of it's almost like a daunting thought that I think just remains over anybody. It's like a light bulb popping above your head, but that light bulb is just a dark light, and you're seeing all of Netflix's fingerprints all over the wall, and you're just like, oh, so this is how they handle their properties and how they will in the future. Ted Sarandos has said straight up, hey, we're not buying Warner Brothers we're getting Warner Brothers to get into the theatrical business, not the other way around. He has said a lot of things and has done the exact opposite of what he said. There's track record of that for the past 10 years. I don't disbelieve him. I don't believe him. I think he wants the theatrical stuff to bring more views to his what he considers content, what hopefully the rest of us consider projects. And it is 100% factual that if you put something in theaters, it gets more views on a streaming service after the fact. So I understand the sentiment there, but if you only put it out for 2 weeks, and even if he extends it to a month, it needs we've gotten away from the 60 to 90 to even 120-day theatrical runs. We know Avatar is about to be a 120-day theatrical run, and we're about to see how much money it can actually make and how much. Yeah, sure, it might be Dancing with Wolves and Fern Gully in space, but also it's a damn good movie nonetheless. The plot's not necessarily what we're going for, but it's breathtaking at the very least, and that's what people are there for. If people lean into
space,
different aspects of great filmmaking, people will go. F1 proved it again earlier this year. That wasn't like that's not winning an Oscar for a plot anytime soon. But damn, it was a great movie. It was a lot of fun.
Avatar's pretty, but I've never seen the second one.
Oh,
so
the second
I guess I'm gonna have.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the mayhem. We don't know what we're talking about. You should run and hide.
But yeah, all that being said,
Well, maybe that's the future, though, is that they're going like a Netflix or whatever. They're just going to do the 2 to 4 week release. And the whole point is that that's just going to become advertising to watch it on streaming to get subscriptions.
There won't be an advertising medium within about a year and a half. if the deal were to go through, it'd probably take a year to a year and a half for there to not, maybe 2 years for there not to be whatever we see and deem a normal theatrical release any longer, which is spooky. Now let's think about Paramount real quick, because we laid out all the bads for Netflix. Now let's lay out the bads for Paramount. Let's start off with the easy thing. Everything artful is political. Don't need a hound on the politic aspect of this, but anything that has the Saudi investment fund and Jared Kushner being backed, I think Monk brought it up earlier, should at least make you question something, because that is a very, not necessarily one-sided political thing, actually, but right now it feels as so, and I think the current administration has made it seem and known as much like, hey, we want Rush Hour 4 ordered. You're getting that from the president. He gets Rush Hour 4. Like, hey, I'm all with you. I want Rush Hour 4 all day, but that's an interesting way to approach getting it made. That is just daunting and trepidatious in and of itself. Now, Paramount itself, the Ellisons, now the company, not just the people backing to try to help buy Warner Brothers, the way they're approaching filmmaking is also not my favorite and kind of spooky. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with what David Ellison's been saying, but he said that they don't want to focus on those artful projects. They don't want to focus on your indies, your A24s, anything like that. They want commercialized products. So,
money.
Yeah, they're considering them projects, but they want that cash flow in.
Yep.
And part of me can't blame them. They are technically a brand new company, new owners coming in here. Hey, let's get the best thing we have out to people so we actually get some cash flow, and maybe we can bring the good stuff to you in the future. Right. I don't believe they're going to ever bring us the independent, quote unquote, good stuff in the future. I think we're going to be stuck and bogged down with Sonic 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And hell, I like the Sonic franchise. It's what got me into watching 40X movies. Thank you, Sonic.
But I mean, you're right. I mean, because
Minecraft,
creating a new IP is insanely expensive. You know, so you'd always want, whatever franchises you have, you'd want to build on those, whether people want to see them or not. And then it becomes a corporate boardroom decision, not an artistic one, and that's how we're all going to get fucked.
The two closest things I think we've seen to that this year are, well, they'll get Transformers and G.I. Joe and stuff like that out too. Don't you worry, they're going to be on that. But I think they're cautious in the way they approach that right now, since they haven't been known to make Transformers isn't like the big breadbasket it was a couple of years ago.
That's kind of burned out, it seems.
We'll see how they actually approach it. I totally. What did you just say, Stormy? That I started thinking about Transformers.
Oh well, it was just like launching a new franchise is always hideously expensive, and so if you want to do a corporate, if you're just making corporate decisions, you're going to go to the franchises you already own, and that kind of, I mean, because then you're making films, from boardroom decisions and not from artistic ones.
Yeah, before
and I just want to say that if you've got an MBA, you shouldn't be making artistic decisions. I'm just saying. If that's the best you can do in school is a MBA, which is probably one of the most worthless degrees in the world, stay away from the art kids, please. Love of God, leave them alone.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well,
let them cook.
Seemingly the only new franchise that is, or not, what seems like it is going to end up a franchise. The only truly new property that's made the waves this year, outside of F1, which very well may actually be a new franchise. So there might be two. Those two might be the Sinners and F1, I think, are the only two films this year that have proven that, hey, you can still do it. It's freaking hard, but you can still do it. The other one, I think Predator Badlands revitalized the franchise in a new way, which was good. I don't know if it made enough money to be considered a smashing success.
Yeah.
But it showed what can be done with the franchise, and I think that excites them, at least, for what's capable going forward. I don't know if anything else is really. We've had a lot of really good films this year, but I don't think anything like franchise-wise has moved the mark outside of maybe Inside Out 2. I forgot about that earlier this summer and stuff, but yeah. 3 years between series. That doesn't help anything either.
No.
But yeah, the theatrical release under Paramount is going to be very streamlined. Is this the easiest word to use there? And I think Monk even brought out. Was it last year already?
Was it the end of, or am I confusing that with? Wasn't there another movie? Wasn't Inside Out? It was something else. Anyway, never mind.
There was something, right?
Yeah.
I know there were Bad Guys too. I didn't watch that one though, sadly. I did love the first one. Yeah. Maybe it was. I know Zootopia 2 just came out. What else came out earlier this year that we're misthinking there? Maybe Zootopia. Maybe because Zootopia is doing as well as Inside Out 2 did is just what's bringing that thought up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the perfect example of what we're talking about right here is what Monk just brought up here: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mm-hmm. I know that's not everyone's like big. That's my favorite franchise from Paramount or whatever, you know. But
never listened to it.
Well, TMNT is the best. I love it. But they've proven, Paramount, that they're more interested in that commercial version of the property. There's a great, maybe the greatest of the turtle stories that you can get. Michelangelo, the silly pizza guy, cowabunga, yada yada guy. He's actually the last surviving turtle and ends up like it's a super gritty story, very dark, very bloody, and it's a beautifully told story. It's called The Last Ronin, and they were going to make a live action one of it, and we're in the process, pre-production process of it, and I think part of the production process of it maybe. And after the Ellisons have taken over, they said, nope, we're scrapping that, and we're doing all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which is good. I mean, there should be. This is a big property for them. It's a new kind of head of company coming in here. They should revitalize the Turtles. That doesn't mean you can't have a separate story over here too. That doesn't correlate with that one. And it shows that they're going with what they believe is going to be most commercially successful, rather than maybe the more niche aspects of different properties. Netflix, at least, we've seen, is very willing to spend some money on a lot of different things and try the niche stuff out. Yeah. So there are ups and downs to both sides of things. Netflix might kill the entire theatrical process. They say they're not.
Yeah.
But can we actually take Ted Sarandos at his word? He's proven time and time again it's hard to, at the very least. Paramount wants to kill the artistic side of projects and streamline, not necessarily goop at us, but they want you to get out of there smiling and having a good time, rather than, you know what, I might have had a good time, but now I'm really thinking about something as well. The thought, they don't want you to think. They just want you to smile, eat some popcorn, and have a good time. Monk brought up, this is why I was hoping that Comcast Universal would have won. I don't know. The debt consolidation would have been insane there. But yeah. I know that was just a lot. That was me going on for about 10 minutes there, just kind of laying out all the different things for both. But after just thinking about it like that, chat, y'all, Sarah, Stormy, do y'all have any other thoughts of just what this could mean?
Well, I guess for me is like what series and what projects are we going, and what franchises are we going to have to sacrifice to satisfy these billionaires? You know, I mean, we just did. I mean, how many years did it take us to get Stargate back on the map? And you know, I mean, we're all these franchises are one merger away from getting canceled. And you know, so I mean, even the media gods like Disney. I mean, they kind of screwed up Star Wars in a couple of ways.
Yeah, they did.
It's like Acolyte. I mean,
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Oh well, let me remind you, Sarah. Let me make
that was last year, right?
But like here we have Disney put out Acolyte, and it was just now if it was a separate movie that had nothing to do with Star Wars, it'd have been an okay movie. But here we just have a mediocre Jedi that kind of was involved in a cover up, But then they Disney produced Mandalorian, which there wasn't a lot of Jedi in it. And then you get Andor, which was one level above Mandalorian, and there was like damn fucking zero Jedis in it. So the stories are there, but it's like we are always one merger away from losing our favorite franchise.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel.
Yeah.
Maybe
but with Acolyte, we did get a lightsaber whip, so
But they
didn't have that in
all it was used for was to cut a cockroach in half.
Didn't we have lightsaber whips in the last 3 Star Wars movies?
No, we had like crossguards and interesting things.
Right. Yeah.
Like the battle where they
just to stay on the franchise thing that you're talking about right here. And to try to give folks a little perspective with it as well as the second either, and we kind of hounded on it earlier. There were 5, and kind of instead of then there were 1, now it's 3. They're Highlandering it just a bit. There can only be one, and they're all going to keep consolidating smaller and smaller, but larger and larger at the same time. And as that happens, though, let's just put this. Here's a question. Let's say Warner Brothers and Paramount, they win. Paramount wins the hostile takeover. They get together. Now it's Warner Brothers Paramount, or Paramount Warner Brothers. Who knew the Warner Brothers were that Paramount? And who knew Paramount was, I don't know. I was trying to make an alliteration. Didn't work that time.
It just seems like Paramount's trying to be Disney.
Oh, I think they're trying to be so much more. So much more. This will put them on a very similar, I think, footing as Disney. If they try to be Disney, they're opening up a theme park too. Don't know when and where, but that's a very viable thing too. That's something we might be talking about in a year or 2, But let's just say Paramount has won the hostile takeover. They have taken over Warner Brothers Discovery.
Right.
2 of the largest studios on the face of the planet. The whole universe, for all we know. We don't know if aliens make movies. They're now 1. Only half of the franchises. Let's just talk about the franchises still. Only half of the franchises can come out next year now. So let's just say that their hostile takeover happens right now today. So next year, are you picking Sonic or Harry Potter? Next year, are you picking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or are you picking a DC movie? You can't do both. It's too much because it's now your own company cannibalizing the amount you can do. You can't create that much. It would be irresponsible to, for fiduciarily at least. So, what do you do in that case? Y'all picking Harry Potter or Sonic?
YouTube.
At that point,
I mean,
hopefully Harry Potter for me, but
yeah, I'm with you. But David said anything over Harry Potter right after.
As I just say it. Sonic, no, not for me at all.
Well, do y'all find that something scary? I know you were just kind of going on that, Stormy, but that I think just kind of hounds the point in a little bit of either way. Let's say Netflix takes it over. Now, okay, well, Netflix taking it over would be a little bit different for theatrical releases. You're only going to get half.
Right.
Let's call it right up. Okay, so all of the Netflix properties, you might get one or two more on the theatrical screen,
Mhm.
and you might still get most of the Warner Brothers properties out there, but they're going to have to take a couple back. We'll probably keep the DC stuff out there, probably some Harry Potter stuff, probably some of their bigger franchises. But
Mhm.
if we were ever thinking of a Game of Thrones movie, we're not going to put it out there, or whatever they end up deciding not to do in that aspect of things. The other worry then would be, is Netflix just going to make a bunch of TV movie style movies? Because their filmmaking is not as grandiose and great as any of the other studios. They can, when they really, really devote the time and effort to do so. The Irishman, Roma, their Oscar bait type of films are the ones that they actually put that type of effort in. And those are beautiful, but they're not willing to do that for much. It's very far and few between. Do y'all like having the amount of projects you get to see, or maybe Netflix would become a little bit like Disney Plus in that sense of, hey, let's just vomit out everything we can onto Netflix, and maybe we'll put the smaller things in theaters for 2 weeks and give you the bigger things for maybe a little bit longer, just to whet that appetite. Would that feel satiable?
Well, I don't know about, I don't think it would. But one thing, we're looking at, what would happen, what would Warner Brothers do? Would they retract, not have as many things on screen during a year? But, that doesn't mean that somebody like Disney wouldn't fill those slots,
Right.
I mean, they would, because right now, all of these companies compete for a finite number of screens. So if there's more than one, company that's backing out of the screens, that means there's all these other screens available. So for somebody like Disney, it's, they could put, they could invest more in multiples of cheaply produced indie movies, the A24s, whatever, and fill screen time. And then all of a sudden, if the other players contract their theatrical releases, it'd be a good opportunity for Disney to fill those up with like rom-coms or whatever. I mean, low budget films, but to get to the theater and for that theater experience, it's the barrier to entry has just been lowered tremendously because you've cut your competition off at the knees.
Right.
Yeah, it's lowered for the audience, and for new filmmakers has doubled.
Yeah. Well, the tools have gotten cheaper than it was. I mean, no one has to run around and get an Arriflex 35 BL, which was what, $65,000, and that's not including the lenses to make a movie. Now you do it with your cell phone, which is incredible.
28 years later. I mean, they got some expensive lenses to put over iPhones for that, but still significantly cheaper in that sense.
Yep.
Nikon or Canon, they're making movie 8K plus digital movie cameras now. That swap out with already available theatrical glass. So yeah, I mean the below the line costs have really, really shrunk.
There are, yeah, and if you can find there are ways that you can find some of this equipment for a lot better. But those larger studios are not doing it that way, sadly.
No, they're not.
No. Sarah, do you have any just general thoughts on all that?
Well, kind of as I said before, I think having less competition is never good. I think overall, I would rather have Netflix than Paramount win that, just because I think that just spreads it out a little bit more than having it be so consolidated.
Yeah.
Do we know for sure that Netflix isn't wanting Warner Brothers to put more theatrical releases out? We're saying less, but I don't know. I guess.
Well, that's what they're saying. They want to put more out.
Right.
So
I mean, they're trying to be more of like
thing.
a real studio, I guess, rather than just a streaming service that makes movies.
Well, I mean,
and I guess we'll see what happens, but it seems to be the consensus seems to be don't think that Netflix would really do that.
They've
But
said
hard to
otherwise.
say.
It's if we can believe
Mhm.
the old CEO, Ted Sarandos.
Mhm.
And track record doesn't make you want to say yes.
Mm-mm.
My heart of hearts wants to say yes.
Mhm.
But track record, trust,
Right.
but verify. There's not
Yeah.
much you can verify there, you know.
Right.
And that's just the simplest way
Mhm.
to put it. I don't think
Right.
Ted Sarandos would even argue that. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, my track
Right.
record's not the best, but I
Right.
promise. I'm telling you, I
Right.
promise. Like I'll shake your hand. I look
Right.
in the eye. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, but I did do that last 3 times too.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, I think
You know,
unfortunately with all this debt and everything, they're probably going to be very focused for at least a couple years on just making money and not worrying about art pieces that don't make anything, you know.
yeah, Netflix
Hopefully
and
they come back around to that once things kind of get sorted out or whatever, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's going to really hit on the nerve there. It's the debt. I
mhm.
mean, at the end of the
Well,
day, it's their debt service is either going to make them or break them.
both
Right.
of them are less debt consolidated. That was why it was weird that
Mhm.
Comcast Universal was trying to come over there and buy it because they would have just
Right.
doubled or if not tripled their debt.
Right.
But yeah, it feels like MGM and Amazon all over again
Mhm.
to an even more grandiose scale. Sadly, though,
Yeah.
like twice the grandiosity, which is not necessarily twice, but like
Mhm.
1.5 to 2 times the grandiosity,
Right.
somewhere in that range.
And we haven't even really talked about them like that, how that's turned out, how long it took for but it took so long for Stargate because they just had seemingly the wrong people had different motivations to get it going or whatever, but
I mean, we are really just kind of starting to feel the MGM side of things from Amazon kind of take fold. Like
Mhm.
MGM, even though it's not, I think one of I don't know how they count it, but they're part of the Fallout process. They're part of a few other processes on Prime proper, and I think
Right.
that's a great thing. I think that's a really good thing.
Mhm.
So just something Stormy touched on for a second here. This would be a little bit more niche for all the film lovers we have here, all of our put our glasses up and watch it kind of stuff, you know.
Mhm.
If either one of these, I guess, gets bought out, more so if Netflix buys Paramount or excuse me, Warner Brothers out here,
Mhm.
does or excuse me, I guess the opposite way. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this question a little bit better. If Paramount were to win, or I guess either one of them ultimately, and the theatrical release is just shrinking, there's not as much out there. Does that allow for, hey, we've seen A24, the perfect company that Stormy just brought up a minute ago, kind of not necessarily raise their standard at all. I wouldn't utilize that, but raise their bar in a theatrical release kind of way. They spend a lot of money on Warfare. They spend a lot of money on Civil War. They spend a lot of money on The Northman, where they were about like a $5 to $20 million project kind of company. They've now been willing to spend maybe closer to that 75, 85, even $105 million on specific properties they do believe deserve it and may do a little bit better commercially. Does that allow, if either one of these companies ultimately come in here and shrinken the theatrical experience, does that allow some of these smaller studios to maybe grow and fill the void that there was, or is that void grown too large for that to ultimately make much of a difference?
Well, the theaters need movies to show to stay in business. So somebody's they're gonna have to get movies from somewhere.
But will people see them if everything's going to go straight to one of these other things?
Well, popcorn's
Right.
not $3 a bucket. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
everything's gone up. You know,
Mhm.
all across the board. You know, so you know, if theater owners can figure out a way to bring the cost of bringing your family out, you know, if they become a price leader in family entertainment, and that's going to mean lowering their ticket prices, lowering their concession fees, then I think there's a buck to be made. You know, but it would definitely be. I mean, there's there's always somebody that's going to try to figure out a way how to get more productions in those empty screens. And I mean, there's lots of movies I'd like, and I go see a lot of movies that are remastered for the screen that hadn't been out in 20 years or whatever.
Nice.
Because I want that theatrical experience. No matter how big of a TV I can get at Best Buy, I still want the whole thing. And so
for certain movies,
there's a lot. Amazon especially has a huge catalog, and so does everybody else, of old films. That I can. There's not one Steven Spielberg film that hadn't been released since he was a student that I wouldn't go see on the big screen. He's got a huge catalog. I would love to go see THX 1138 at the theaters again. So the catalog is there. And even if they do it for 1 week or whatever, you've already done the production costs. You may have to do another film transfer or digitization, and most of the films have already had that have been digitized. For Blu-ray and more.
Oh yeah.
And so I think they have the catalog certainly to put second runs up in theaters. My God, the first Star Wars film stayed in theaters until the second one came out.
Well, the first 3 weeks of January, they're re-releasing for the 25th anniversary of Fellowship, Lord of the Rings, one each week. I'm so excited.
Guess who's going to be there?
Both of us in a heartbeat.
I want to go see that. When is that's supposed to be in January?
Cheryl will be there too.
In January, they're doing that.
I don't know if it's the first, second, third week or the second, third, fourth week. I think it's the first, second, third, but I might be wrong.
Okay. It's all three at once, or is it?
No, it's week by week.
1 week, right?
Okay, but it's the extended versions, right?
Oh yeah, I think so. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah.
Which it should be, of course. Yeah. I did. A good friend of mine was telling me about how he got to show his grandpa Lord of the Rings, the theatrical cut for the first time when he went back home for a week in October, and his grandpa had never seen it before, and he was like, I always watch the extended cut, so it's kind of fun to watch the theatrical cut in a way, just because it's
right.
I forget what they took out, and he was just kind of gushing.
Yeah, you don't remember because you always see and you're like, yeah. Anyway,
when can we have another Lord of the Rings? Dune's the closest we've gotten.
Right.
Come on.
Well, we had that. What was it? The animated film. It wasn't too bad.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen
that was all right.
I have a poster for it. I never saw it. Oops. They hand you free posters at the movie theaters. Go to the movie theater.
It's worth a watch.
I will. Mostly just because I know Eowyn does the voiceover and narration for it all.
Okay, so here's the dates for the extended edition new theatrical releases. January 16th for Fellowship.
Oh, it's later than I expected.
Yeah, January 17th for The Two Towers.
Oh, day by day.
January 18th for Return of the King. And then they have, for these, Harris, I'm pretty sure you've been to these D-box theaters that have the.
Oh, yeah.
So those are always about, for those seats, it's January 23rd, January 24th, and January 25th.
Wait, they're doing Lord of the Rings 40X and D-box?
Yeah. It's typically like a week later than the regular theatrical.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, my heart is so happy right now. I'm not even fully awake right now. I am now awake. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm giddy. I'm giddy now. Oh my God.
Let me just read the description here. So if you haven't tried D-Box before, oh boy, we think some of these screenings will have this available. The Mines of Moria quake underneath your feet. The Balrog roars violently through your seat. The cavalry charge at Helm's Deep moves your entire body.
I'm so excited for that. Oh.
And the troll hits actually jolt your chair. And this is from the onering.net.
Right.
Oh.
You all right
I'll
here?
have to see if maybe my daughter and I can go see that because I don't think she's seen it. We have one of those theaters around here, but I think it's like in Bellevue or something. But let's look.
They're so good. One of my good friends who's helping host this old variety show that we're being the venue for today. He went to go see Zootopia 2 in 40X. And he's literally, every time I've seen him for the past week, he said, it's the best thing I've ever seen. Like, I just can't get past how good the 40X stuff is. I don't know how good Zootopia was because I couldn't get past the 40X aspect of it. I need to go see the movie again because 40X was just so fun. I was like, good. Now I'm getting you to see every movie possible in 40X. It's so fun. Oh my God. What were we talking about?
You have to wear Depends to go see Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'll wear them. I'll bring back though.
What kind of popcorn?
Sit on a bucket.
What kind of popcorn bucket or do you guys think we'll see?
Sorry, say that again.
What kind of popcorn buckets do you think we'll see for this? I mean, you think it'll be like?
Oh, they always have those cool popcorn buckets. And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'd be cool, like have like a popcorn tin with the map of Middle Earth on it. That'd be cool. Instead of popcorn butter, goblin butter. Tasty.
Sauron's head.
Sauron's head would be hilarious. Oh no. Oh.
There we go. Right, yeah.
Now
you're talking.
I don't know what I did. I'm pressing back. Pressing back one more time to be okay. What? I did something. This is why I'm not in charge of.
Oh, that was for War of the Rohirrim. That's what they had. Okay.
Yeah, this was the Rohirrim one. It was actually pretty cool.
Oh, that is.
Why would you want a hand? It just seems like if you're sitting in your seat with the.
Well, yeah, it didn't make a whole lot of sense for the movie theater itself. Maybe for your home like display stand or something. But Peter, perhaps the expensive seats come with a commode. Oh, if only.
Yeah, exactly. That would be nice.
40X ticket. Where your average movie ticket is $20 to $25, your average 40X ticket is $24 to $30. And you still get a discount. I know with Regal, the way they handle it, for your usual movie ticket, it only costs 50 cents if you have Regal Unlimited, which is you're just paying for the tax for the ticket essentially. 40X, it's an $8.50 ticket. So you still get an $8 ticket and then the 50-cent tax on top of it. But it's not bad overall, honestly. Hey, it's been a while since we've seen old Sentai Ranger Donnie.
Hello.
Sentai.
Hello there, Professor and all. Hope everyone's well, despite NBC Universal losing us bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. Yeah. Well, we got somebody in the NBC faction over here. I like it. I'm remaining neutral on whether Netflix streaming home to the Power Rangers or Paramount. Skydance winning that bid. Yeah, that's what we're trying to weigh the ups and downs all around, man. But yeah, the only problem I think that they have with re-releasing all these movies right now is they're typically Fathom events, and Fathom is a third party that you can't utilize your Regal Unlimited, your Cinemark Pass, your AMC A-List, all those kind of things. And you end up having to pay maybe not full price for a ticket, but $15-20 nonetheless. If they were to partner up with some of these, I guess, theater companies, even more so to lower those ticket prices, that I think would be a great barrier or lower barrier of entry to get people just at least back to the movie theaters. And if they're back to go watch the things that they know they can't, that, hey, I might have seen this 100 times at home. Like I've seen Lord of the Rings 1,000 times at home.
Lightweight.
And you put it in 40X back in theaters. You know damn well I'm gonna be right there. Damn well.
I gotta try to make that.
That Sci-Fi Sundays is going to be very fun. We're gonna be all gushing and gooing about it. But ultimately, I think bringing movies back to movie theaters that have been gone for a long time is still a great way to get people back in there. Lowers that barrier of entry, especially if you can make those ticket prices a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
That allows people to see what else is coming out, which might bring them back in the theater next weekend, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, though, do you think, because I think that is a great idea, and they need to hound it more, those Fathom events, there need to be other companies that are doing it as well. All the major studios should be re-releasing their other properties as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, I guess back to that original thought, do y'all think that with less just theatrical experiences in general, and if people need to do these older movies to kind of start making theaters make sense, hey, this helps put a couple old movies in there and help us pay for a new one kind of deal.
Well, one thing, I read about this model. Oh, I don't know. Somebody maybe 6 months ago on Reddit. What if you come out with you go shoot a 2-hour movie and then 8 more episodes, right? In the 2-hour movie that gets the theatrical release, and then once that's played out, then all of it, then you put the first 2 hours on stream, and then you follow it up with a weekly update, another episode. So you
that's how I
start
saw Rings of Power.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I saw Rings of Power for the first time.
Yeah. They did it with Rings of Power, and
That's a good idea.
It's
Stargate.
scratch
I'm
it.
not going to.
Amazon, we know you're listening.
Yeah.
You've proven you're listening multiple
We
times.
do know Amazon
again and again.
Mm-hmm.
They get all their great ideas from us. And the sad thing is they actually do get their ideas from us. How did that even happen? I mean, it's just,
I don't know. Ultimately, though, do y'all think that leaves room? Does this leave room for oh my God, David, every time I say something that I'm getting on, you say something funny and my brain just completely goes haywire.
Yeah. Gotta wear a tarp for that one.
I need a tinfoil hat for that one, just in case.
no, you need a tarp for that one. Think of going to a Gallagher
rain
show,
poncho,
but worse.
Yeah.
Can we do a tinfoil tarp?
You want
followed by cats and 40X. They're on a rampage over here. That would be awful. I guess the previous question of if these things happen, if older movies keep getting put back, if the new studios keep kind of consolidating and cannibalizing one another and saying, well, hey, we can't put out as many projects now, does that open up an avenue? Could this actually be a good thing for theaters, whether Netflix or Paramount ends up getting a hold of Warner Brothers? If there are fewer theatrical releases, does that mean we're not getting Transformers, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, Disney? Does it mean we're not overloaded with things any longer? If it has to be consolidated, is there a silver lining here where that's the case? And if that's the case, we need to release some older films. Oh, these older films make you appreciate the art aspect of film. And then does that allow A24, Neon, some of these smaller production companies to grow in size?
I mean,
it would be good if that happened, but
30 some years ago, back when I was making movies, the reason I was making stuff for the Southeast Asian market is because that was the low barrier to entry. I could just put stuff on directly from film to VHS, and sell 10,000 copies. Because I couldn't get in American theaters, and so when I got to the point where I could put something in American theaters, it was painfully problematic, expensive. I mean, it's so expensive, the soundtrack made more money than the film.
It's not a bad thing, though. It gets you.
I don't want a bad thing, but you want to do the movie, and the soundtrack is. So it's really So if anything that you can do to lower the barrier of entry to the theaters for independent filmmakers, I think it's best. It's better for the entire industry. majors and minors and independents.
Agreed. You think that'll bring some smaller filmmaking back up into the limelight, maybe, Sarah?
I hope so. I mean, it sounds like I could see an avenue where that happens. We'll see, I guess, just how things go.
Yeah.
Is this going to be, get rid of independence, or is this going to be, in a way, a boost? Guess we'll have to find out.
Well, independent film, there's already people out there making independent films. Just go to any film festival and there's a slathering of new films that Amazon won't give them the time of day.
Mm-hmm.
As scary as either one of them taking over Warner Brothers Discovery is, the silver lining that it could bring the theatrical experience back is something that I don't think has been talked about much, because either one of these companies buying Warner Brothers Discovery is pretty scary, and it's monopolizing in one way or another. Does that monopolizing actually leave part of the market open, though?
To a degree.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that you're doing, they're monopolizing on currently produced franchises. Even if it's just they got the movie rights to a book, they haven't produced a movie, they still have that IP locked up. Where and this is how George Lucas became a billionaire, is like, he was an independent filmmaker. He retained all the rights to the sequel, the marketing, the toys, and everything. And there's going to be somebody that comes along with a really good story, and imagine like somebody like this, they go to Sundance, they show it, blows the audiences away, and instead of like Paramount getting the rights, what if Regal gets the rights
to
a movie?
Show?
Right. It doesn't it's let's I don't know, Crow Wars or whatever. And it does well at Sundance or whatever film festival it is. Well, what if Regal starts competing with these titles? That they get distribution of the film as opposed to Amazon or Paramount or somebody else. What if they start stepping up to be a distributor?
Because that was a thing 100 years ago. I think there's still a lot of laws that thwart that from kind of taking place, but it seems kind of like things have possibly started to lean back towards that kind of being a possibility to a degree.
I think they would have justification to do it these days.
Netflix is the closest, because they own a couple theaters, and I guess Disney owns a few. They have the El Capitan on Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
Netflix, the Egyptian Theater. I don't know if they own the Cinematheque or not, because it used to be related to that.
Gotta get out of here, guys. So
yeah.
So I will see you around.
See you, Sarah.
Tomorrow on Farscape Patreon?
Yes, tomorrow. I will be there. All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Totals.
So anyway, the because they're not a studio. It was the studios owning. It's like if Amazon owns studios, that's a problem. This is the theater chain getting the rights. They're competing with the studios.
Yeah, I wonder if they got the distribution rights for older films, they could start doing that themselves rather than
if the main. I mean, all the old movies are owned by 3 companies now, so it's you're kind of back. It's not an easy answer, really.
I might have seen this rant. I only watched one, or I don't think I only watched one this week of the old Campias. John Campia had a pretty good segment this last week on Netflix buying Warner Brothers. He talked about how if Netflix really wanted to get rid of the theatrical experience, they would just spend they would just spend $6 or $7 billion to buy the 5 major movie theater chains. I heard him say that, and I actually did see that rant. Again, there are laws in place to keep that from happening. There's a reason they didn't even attempt to try to do that. They couldn't buy one legally. It was a a good rant, and it was fun to watch. It didn't make a whole bunch of sense ultimately. There are too many. If monopolizing laws are about to be in place with what's going on, and they have to go through a process of, hey, can we even do this? The Paramount decree was overruled. They could do it. Which Paramount decree? Because Paramount doesn't own a bunch of movie theaters or anything. Netflix couldn't have bought all the movie theater chains in that sense. I don't think that passes any, or excuse me, not or Paramount, whatever. Netflix, excuse me. I'm trying to think about too many things at once. The Paramount agrees a historical court ruling that said the studio could not buy a movie theater. Yeah, but that's different than it was overruled a couple years ago. Netflix has been buying movie theaters, but like they're specific art house movie theaters. They're not allowed to buy like a movie theater chain like that. That would get into monopolizing territory, which would immediately have the same kind of governmental oversight that's happening right now with their deal. It would be a different version of it, but anti-monopoly laws would nonetheless have an effect there. It is an interesting thought. Not realistic, though. It's such a dicey thing, one way or another. I am kind of leaning towards, I like to be a pragmatist, but I am a natural optimist at the same time, where I kind of like that silver lining. I'm hoping no matter which way ultimately the sale goes, that this theatrical experience will survive, revitalize, and hopefully set itself up to thrive. Because it's probably not thriving in the next year or two. Hopefully the next 3 or 4 though. Stormy, I know we have about 10 minutes left till we have it hard out over here because life's life in this week, and we got to do a couple things. Is there anything else that we should talk about, cover, hang out, discuss before we jump out of here? And
the only big announcement I've got is there's a new episode of the Spider Crypt House up on Professor Cringe. Dropped that yesterday, so go check that out. Haven't done anything for Mojo Zoo. It's been so busy moving and life and work and more life and stuff. But if anybody has any suggestions, like an old radio show or whatnot, or some old novel that they'd like to hear dramatized, just tell me what the title is and I'll go fetch.
hey,
Always take suggestions.
do you have any scripts that you could dust off that are sci-fi, horror, fantasy?
Ooh. The sci-fi-est one I have is with the ham radio operator that starts communicating with somebody that doesn't exist. And it's really, it was easy. It was cheap to film because you could do it at any town in America. It was not, but it did have like a sci-fi twist to it.
Hey,
That's about the thing I've still got in the hopper ready to go. In the short
Secular Monk just brought something up that I think you would love. And you just said Hopper as well. That kind of made me think of like Stranger Things meets.
Oh yeah, True Noir. Yeah.
True Noir. Robert Meyer Burnett, R&B, has produced a whole big old thing. I believe he directed it as well. And it's a big audio drama, and it would, I think, kind of inspire you in a lot of good ways. It's exactly what you're doing, just in a different avenue in a lot of ways. It was really cool. I haven't listened to all of it. I need to actually sit down and do it. I think I backed it to help support it when it was coming out, and I haven't sat down to listen to it completely. But yeah, my voice coach is in there too. My voice coach is, I think, one of the leads in there. So yeah,
Cool.
Markiplier's coming out with a new sci-fi horror movie. It's about the Iron Lung video game. I remember that. Hey, Monk also helped crowdfund it. Hell yeah. There are a lot of YouTubers making movies now, horror movies to begin with, and it is fun. I say we put our own rink in our own hat in the rink here sooner than later. You know, we might have a little bit of something in the process. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, I guess we are about 5 minutes away from saying that we can't do anymore. It is a busy old day here for both of us. It has been a fun stream, though. It has been a lively stream.
Really good stream.
Yeah, we haven't had a second of downtime, which is a good thing. Yes, SciTrek horror. Hey, how about horror comedy? Because I got something coming. It's going to be a little bit, but hey, we'll take some time. Any new film by SciTrek has to star the health and safety guy. Well, we might have some fun little things, hopefully.
Awesome.
Jay and I have talked about expanding those skits for the last couple of years, and I want to do it. I want to actually do it more. It would be so much fun. Health and safety guy doing some fun, exploring around some galaxies, maybe. All that being said, Monk, we made it so far. Before we jump on here, thank y'all for hanging out with us. This is honestly and obviously a very interesting topic. One that we have been talking about for a while, one that we will continue to talk about for a while. And I don't think it's going to become any less interesting anytime soon. And if anything, Stormy, I am glad that we have found a silver lining. There is a place for optimism within this, nonetheless. Is it trepidatious optimism? Yes, it might be. But it's optimism nonetheless.
Panic-inducing optimism?
Yeah, it's something. But do what Lead Farmer told you to do, y'all. All right. Anything else before we jump out of this thing?
That's all for me this week.
Well, this has been your Sci-Fi Sundays. You know we had a good time. We hope you had a great time as well. Hit that like button like Monk and Lead Farmer tell you how to do. Peace and bless. I can't even speak anymore. Peace and blessed be, y'all. Right back at you.
Be you all.
Right back at you.
Y'all be good.
Good night, good evening, and everything else that Jim Carrey says at the end of that movie. Love y'all.
Bye.
I gotta find the button. Where's the button? Actually, where the hell did the button go? Found it. Bye, y'all.